I'm Matt McClure, and this is Currents, a pioneering program to help young fathers.
They teach you what's right from wrong and knowing how to discipline your child, and
fathers of a bigger flock.
Becoming a priest was something I never thought about.
And Lino Rulli takes a leap of faith.
This great little leap of faith, Lino.
It's too big of a leap of faith for me. I don't think I've got this much faith in my life.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Francesca Maxime is off tonight. Well, Father's Day is upon us, and that means family visits, greeting cards, and of course, the tacky necktie. But for many young men, fatherhood comes earlier than expected. The Catholic Charities sponsors a program called Man Up to help men, some as young as the age of 16, prepare for and work on being good fathers. I recently caught up with the program's directors and some of the fathers that program is trying to help. Being a father is not an easy job. There's the feeding, the burping, the diapers, the baby waking you up at 3 in the morning. But when you're young, likely not married, probably out of work, and not part of the child's everyday life, the job gets even harder.
The point of the program is to try to connect them to the child, reconnect them to the child, and be a better parent.
And for fathers who are willing to be better parents, there's Man Up. It's a program that meets in Brooklyn and helps young fathers, ages 16 to 24, be better parents through group meetings, workshops, and gifts of diapers, baby food, and supplies.
And at first I didn't really want to be involved with it, but as soon as I got to know it and as soon as the people took me in, it was a good thing because they really opened my eyes, made me understand how to take care of my son better.
Rudy Jean-Jacques has a 4-month-old son. He's been involved with Man Up since before his son was born.
They teach you how to take care of your child. They teach you what's right from wrong and knowing how to discipline your child and, not teaching your child bad behaviors, but also teaching your child good functional behaviors so they can grow up to be, a modern citizen.
Fathers may come from the streets of Brooklyn. They may come from anywhere in the city, but one thing is for certain, they come here to the Dr. White Community Center on Gold Street in Brooklyn to the Man Up program with one goal in mind, and that is to be a better parent for their child. But as the program's director says, they've got to be able to stick around.
I mean, the child is not even a priority most of the time. Priority is hanging out with their friends, not going to school, hanging out. That's one of the things it's one of our biggest challenges in following up and continuing those free services. Everything's free. Something that could support you, but they want a job, they want it right now.
They're not getting to do it or they're not doing it. So a lot of them would come in and they want parenting skills. They might want parenting skills because they feel that through parenting skills they might be able to better connect with their children. But the parenting skills in itself is not going to give them what they want if they're not willing to do the work.
Roxana Sampson is the case manager at Man Up. She works to help the fathers overcome those roadblocks.
So they'll come in for 2 or 3 sessions and they might not be going the way they wanted to go, and then they'll stop. And then we would have to try to re-engage them through making phone calls or sending them letters or just trying to get them back in here and trying to explain to them and teach them and let them realize that it's not about just us or the program, it's about what they're willing to do.
But in spite of all that, the Man Up program has enjoyed a lot of success.
The response actually has been overwhelming. In fact, that there is a need for the program in the community. There's an obvious need, and the fathers are there. The fathers are looking for the services. Oftentimes, they don't know where to go to seek the services.
And as for Rudy, he's sticking around, and he's thankful for the help Man Up has given him so far.
It's a wonderful thing because it really helps you out in ways that you really don't know until you come and find out what's going on and obtain this knowledge they've given us.
Now, for more on this, the Man Up program, you can visit our Currents blog. It's at netny.net/currents. You just click on Riding the Wave, where I've posted more information on the Man Up program. Stay with us. When Currents returns, the day's headlines. And later, as we get ready for Father's Day, some other fathers are in the spotlight. Welcome back to Currents as we turn to today's headlines. 1 billion people in the world are going hungry. The UN Food and Agriculture Organization says 100 million of those are because of the global financial crisis. The organization's general director says the hunger problem poses a, quote, serious risk to world peace and security. The UN says most of the world's hungry live in developing countries. Well, hunger is just one of the reasons for an increase in refugees around the world. Saturday is World Refugee Day. As we hear from Rome Reports, the plight of those forced to flee their countries is getting more attention.
Augusto Chimuna is from Sudan, and he lives in a town in Angola with his wife and kids. He doesn't have a job, but he still has hope. Augusto's convinced that his grandchildren will have a better life. He hopes they will live far away from the refugee camp where he's been living since he fled the war. Augusto's story is not unique. He and his family are among the 42 million people in the world that have had to flee their homes, according to the UNHCR. 26 million of them are displaced within their own countries. World Refugee Day is celebrated each year around the globe to remember the difficult situations these people are enduring and to raise awareness about their plight, with the slogan, Real People, Real Needs. The Jesuit Refugee Service shares stories like the one about Augusto to show the importance of helping refugees.
What people need in the specific circumstances, we're not very prescriptive. We don't come in with the answers. We ask people what they need and we try to help them. We try to work together to provide the answers. People are at home think, oh, well, what can I do? And you can do something. The first thing you can do is start to not accept some of the bland arguments that are put forward in the media and some of the fear tactics used by governments around the world.
The number of refugees had been on the decrease, but in recent years it has gone on the rise again. Among those countries facing the most difficult situations are Sudan with 5 million displaced people, followed by Colombia with an estimated 4 million, then the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda. Last year, 2 million fewer refugees were able to return to their home countries than the previous year. This is mostly due to the instability and lack of security in Afghanistan and Sudan.
In this country, more than 200 refugees from Burundi will be arriving in Dallas this summer, sponsored by Catholic Charities. Catholic News Agency reports most of them left Burundi in 1972 to flee widespread massacres by the ruling government there. Elsewhere in Texas, as the Catholic bishops hold their biannual meeting in San Antonio, Catholic News Service reports one thing that is a top priority is marriage. Archbishop Joseph Kurtz of Louisville says the bishops are concerned because a number of states are considering laws that would give some legal rights to same-sex partners. Now, New York Governor David Paterson has said he would sign a pending gay marriage bill into law should it reach his desk. Well, coming up, the Year for Priests begins today, and we'll talk to two people about what that may mean for vocations. And Lino Rulli on this rock, but not for long.
This is seriously the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
Well, it might just be a coincidence, but the Year for Priests begins today, the Friday before Father's Day. So now we turn to another kind of father, at a conversation I had earlier this week on the topic of vocations to the priesthood. We're talking today about the Year for Priests, and joining me to discuss that are Father Kevin Abels, who is the Associate Vocations Director for the Brooklyn Diocese, and also Alonzo Cox, who is a 4-year seminarian. Gentlemen, welcome.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate it. Now, Father, I just wanted to direct the first question for you very simply. What is the Year for Priests?
The Year for the Priest, given to us by our Holy Father, is an opportunity for the Church all throughout the world, both ordained and lay, to celebrate the priest and the life and the ministry of the priest. And it comes from the 150th anniversary of St. John Vianney, the Curé of Ars, who is the patron saint of all parish priests. So it's an opportunity for the church to give thanks to God for the priesthood, and an opportunity, hopefully, to pray that more young people would consider the Lord's call to priesthood today.
And maybe even for folks to learn a little bit more about the priesthood as well.
Absolutely.
And that vocation. Now, do you think that maybe with some recent news like Father Coutier, the entire situation there, maybe the Irish abuse story that came out, do you think maybe vocations have been on the decline recently?
I don't think so. I just think that what we have to do a better job of doing as priests is to get the word out. And so let people know how happy we are serving God's people, and to get some good news out for a change, and not to only focus in on the negative publicity that unfortunately we are hearing these last few years. Gotcha. But hopefully this year will change the tone.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, do you think that maybe this will actually help in doing that?
We're praying that it will, and knowing the wonderful priests in the diocese, their enthusiasm, their love for God and their priesthood, I have no doubt that this will be a very wonderful and successful year for the priests.
Great. Now, Alonzo, what is your vocation story? Kind of, how did you come to sort of receive the call into the priesthood?
Well, I knew since I was a very young boy that I wanted to be a priest, and I can remember being mesmerized by priests. You know, my parents took us to church every week, every Sunday, and I can remember at my confirmation very vividly having the idea of God calling me to this vocation, calling me to priesthood. So I had the wonderful opportunity to be with so many wonderful priests in my home parish, and right after confirmation, I worked in the rectory, and I was an altar boy, and I was an altar server, and I was in high school. I said, sort of laying out what God wanted for me as a young man, and all of a sudden I got in contact with the vocation director and entered the seminary right after high school, and the rest is history.
Right. And here you are.
Here I am. Yeah.
Well, Father Kevin, what about you? What is your vocation story?
Becoming a priest was something I never thought about. I wanted to become a lawyer. I wanted to get married and have a family. But one day, one man asked me a very powerful question. And that man was the pastor of Lady of Hope, my home parish, Monsignor Civillo. And I remember one Sunday leaving the doors of the church, he stopped me and he said to me, "Kevin, you should think about becoming a priest." And I was so taken back by it. I said no, but he kept on asking me the question because I was so involved in the parish. And then one day I was just so distracted in my schoolwork, that question kept on haunting me. And so I went back to him and I said to him, why did you disrupt my life? And he said to me, I wasn't disrupting your life. It was God, in a very positive way, disrupting your life. And all he wants you to do, is to explore and to consider. And I'm so glad that I considered it, and I'm so glad I decided to explore it more, because I wouldn't be here today. Right. Very happy with what I'm doing.
Well, very good. Now, Alonzo, what do you think are maybe some of the impediments for others? I know that your story, you have known since a very young age that you were called into the priesthood. Maybe some others haven't heard the call, or they haven't heeded and answered that call. What do you think maybe are some of the obstacles?
There are a lot of things that guys are afraid of in answering the call. I know of many young men who may feel as if they are called to priesthood, but are fearful of whether or not they are inadequate. They're not able to fulfill the task, maybe. I know of certain guys who are really afraid of the whole school aspect, the education aspect of being in the seminary for 5 years or more. The whole idea of celibacy, the whole idea of commitment to God as a celibate man. And whenever I talk about vocations in the parishes, I think of John Paul II, be not afraid. Be not afraid to allow the Lord to to take over and to just lay all of that before him. And that really got me through all of my fears and all my anxieties of thinking of the words of John Paul II, be not afraid. So
and
important.
if I can just add to that,
Sure.
two things for me. Number one, I think we have to get information about what we do as a priest out to our young people. I think many people, young people especially, they do not have information about the life and the ministry of the priest. And if we don't have information given to them, then they won't consider it. You know, you choose any profession that's out there. If I don't know certain information about the lifestyle of a doctor, a teacher, a lawyer, whatever, I'm not going to consider it. And I think that this year, hopefully, will be an opportunity for us as a church to really get the positive out and to really let the people, and young people especially, know what the life of a priest is about. And the second is family. You know, parents, don't be afraid. Encourage, you know, it's a wonderful way of life. There are happy priests out there. Look in your parishes, support it, and God will take over.
Right. And we've only got about probably 30 seconds left, but I just wanted to ask very quickly, any events going on to commemorate the Year for Priests in the Brooklyn Diocese?
In January, the Diocese is leading a pilgrimage to Oz, run by Father Gerard Sauer and Father Joseph Fonte. And then 2 other events during the year will have the opportunity for the presbyterate of the diocese to come together and to pray and to talk about spirituality and what have you. So those are some events happening for the year.
Oh, very good. Father Kevin Alonzo, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Great. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
And of course, we'll have much more throughout the Year for Priests. Well, stay with us, because when Currents returns, our Lino Rulli finds himself between a rock and a hard place. Our Lino Rulli hosts a regular feature here on the show called Catch of the Day. But before he found stardom here on net, Lino hosted a show in Minnesota called Generation Cross. Now, throughout the summer, we'll be showing you classic clips from that show. Okay, now, Lino's probably been told more than once to go jump off a cliff. And in this next piece, that's exactly what he does. Okay, maybe not exactly. Just take a look at what happened when he went rock climbing with Father Andrew Cozzens, a seminary professor in St. Paul, Minnesota.
This is one way I really like to hang out. You know, Lino, I'm kind of a guy who likes challenges, in case you haven't figured that out. It's one of the reasons I decided to become a priest. I figured it was about the biggest challenge I could find. Now see, Lino, this is the beauty about rock climbing. It teaches trust. Trust is such an important thing in our relationship with God. Basically, what I want to do now is get you set up so you can go over and experience this great, this great little leap of faith, Lino.
It's too big of a leap of faith for me. I don't think I've got this much faith in my life. All right, now I'm telling you, I've got the biggest fear of heights, biggest fear of water. So this is not a joke.
Okay, now Lino, let me explain to you one rule about rock climbing. I like to call it the Trinity rule.
Okay.
The thing is, you know, the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Sure.
You always have 3 things to catch you when you fall. Okay, so you can see here.
Let me guess, the ground, the tree, and maybe another large rock.
No, but just in case one of them doesn't hold, we've got not 1 backup, but 2 backups. Okay?
Okay. Does vomit speed up on its way down?
Lino, look, really, I'm a priest. I wouldn't have you do this if I wasn't sure that it was safe, okay?
Oh, great. The canoers are going to watch me fall to my death as well. Jeez, not only a viewing audience, but actual canoers.
Now, Lino, do you know who the patron saint of rock climbers is?
Well, I'm sure he's dead, unfortunately. No, I don't.
Of course, that's because all saints have died.
I know.
No, the patron saints of rock climbers did not die rock climbing. His name is Pier Giorgio Frassati. Blessed Giorgio Frassati, pray for us.
Absolutely never been this afraid in my life.
Don't look down. Look at me.
All right.
Here we go. Now you're gonna, when you get out there, you want to spread your legs a little bit. So just keep backing up a little bit. There you go. Keep backing up. Keep backing up. There you go.
See, it's when we're the most afraid that we realize God is the most important.
That's true.
All right, I can't get that first.
Can you get that? See your left foot? You see that that ledge behind you.
Yeah.
Can you put your left foot on that ledge? There you go. Now lean back. This is the trust part. This is beautiful. You're doing great.
You're kidding me. This is seriously the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
It is the best. Stand up and lean back. That's what you got to do. You got to take your left hand off the rock, so you just got to lean back more.
But if I lean back, I'm going over the rock.
That's right. You got to sit back. There you go. You're okay. I got you. Hold your right hand. Perfect. You're doing it, Lino. Lino, you are rappelling. You are beautiful.
Oh my God, are we up high?
Now, is this fun?
Whoa. Well, that wasn't fun. Oh, I'm still being held up by my groin right now. All right, here we go.
Are you there, Lino?
I think I did it, Father Andrew. I'm there. Did you see the cut? Did you see what I've done to myself? Look at this. Look at this. I've got nobody to save me from myself. Can you believe that? I'm telling you, this ain't easy. It looks easy, but it ain't easy.
Okay, you're going to belay me now.
All right.
This is the part where I trust my life into your hands.
That's right. For what reason, I have no idea.
Now I'm going to start climbing. Now, the other thing, there's another lesson that rock climbing teaches us, Lino.
Yeah?
It's about falling. In the Christian life, when we try something, we fall like this. Oh. But there's always somebody there to catch us.
Oh. And if you're lucky, it wouldn't be somebody like me straining his brains out right now.
So now, I'm going to ask you to trust me with your life.
Didn't I already trust you with my life one time today?
Yeah.
We really need to keep playing this game. It's like testing God. I don't think it's necessary to always do it.
Now, don't climb any faster than your rope.
Okay.
Now, just think, Lino, after this is all over, you're going to be able to tell people how much fun it was hanging out with a priest today.
They won't believe me.
Oh, falling!
Oh, this is fun.
Put your hands out.
Well, that's more fun than I expected. Oh, jeez.
Put your hands out, Lino. That's what happens when you fall. That's good. Now you want to put your feet on the ground.
Whoa, hey now.
Congratulations, Lino.
Up belay. All right, that feels a little better. Oh,
Congratulations, Lino. You really did a great job.
Father Andrew, thanks so much. Wow, that was something else.
Beautiful day out here, Lino.
It was.
Now tell me, did you learn anything?
No, did you?
Well, sure. You can learn lots of things rock climbing. You learn about trust. You learn about faith. You learn about what it means when you take a fall and somebody catches you.
That's true.
So I just got one final question. Do you trust me now?
No.
Well, that's our Lino Rulli, always hanging around. And I tell you, I would not have done that. So, Lino, I look up to you because I am deathly afraid of heights as well. Well, that's it for this edition of Currents. Coming up on Monday, you'll meet a man that believes that prayer isn't just done on your knees, but also on your feet. The spirituality of ballroom dancing. Remember, you can always catch us online. netny.net is the web address. And while you're there, just let us know what you think. You can also email us at dropusaline@currentsny.net. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt McClure. Have a great weekend.